until you do this, you are probably going to be struggling with your weight. Trainer Joe, you were bringing this topic up earlier when we were discussing podcast topics, and you had a lot of passion behind this particular one. So, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Launch in, baby.
Yeah. When people do my program that's 21 days, and they're trying to think, how's this going to turn into my life? And in our current 21-day program, I had somebody say, they said, I'm not sure exactly if I'm getting this right. They were like, am I going to keep doing all this stuff after my 21 days or not? And I went to explain that. I thought people need to understand what it's going to take to live this out.
Yeah.
And the way I explained it was, it's a little bit like going through my program is a little bit like going through basic training. You've decided you want to be a soldier, right? So you decide, I think this is good for me. I think what I want to do, and it may be because you want to fight for your country or you feel like it's going to be good for you, but whatever reason, you decide you want to be a soldier. So you're going to go to basic training, and that's going to last maybe 6 weeks. Well, that's not how you're going to live the rest of your life. That's training you. That's preparing you to be a soldier. What are you going to be the rest of your life? A soldier, right? And for Marines, they're like, once a Marine, always a Marine. It goes along that too, because a Marine might go and they do basic training where they're up at 4:30 and they're marching 10 miles. They're not going to do that the rest of their lives. Even when they're fighting, they're not doing that. They prepared, they're a Marine. Even if they go home and they become a farmer or a truck driver or a teacher, inside they're a Marine. So what we're trying to get people to do and understand is that you need to see yourself as this soldier. You trained. A lot of people don't want to train. I don't want to train. I just want this to come easy. No, you're going to have to train. Well, am I going to have to train forever? Well, you're going to have to train so that you can then say, I'm on this team. I am a soldier now, and I'm going to live a certain way. So that was my explanation to them, is that you're not going to have to live this way the rest of your life, but you are going to have to train and say, now I'm on the team, now I'm a soldier, and that's going to affect the way I live for the rest of my life.
So why do you feel like this concept is such a huge deal for people that are desiring to lose weight and keep it off?
Yeah, great question. One reason is because everybody wants the results of going through that process, of going through basic training and choosing to be on a team. They want those kind of results.
Going through a 21-day transformation and losing 12 pounds, 13 pounds, or maybe they go through back-to-backs and lose 25 pounds, and they're thinking,
this is awesome.
This is awesome.
And now I want to go back to being a civilian.
Ooh.
That's what happens. You do a program, and I'm not going to just say my program. Any program, you're gonna have to adopt this idea that this is preparing me to be on the team. If you're doing keto, then you're going to do the keto lifestyle the rest of your life, and you better have aspects of what a team has. What does a team have? A team is known because it has a
focal mission.
Okay.
A mission.
Yes, it does. A team
Community.
always has a
Coach.
Okay.
A
team has, you just said, community or team members, right? And people can listen to this and say, oh, this is whatever. Okay, keep doing your thing, because people want to do the casual. I don't want to be part of this group that seems weird to me. Hey, you don't have to be part of that group, but you better be part of a group that has a coach that helps you. I remember when I was running track at UK. And I was long time ago. I was so glad to be part of this team. I was proud to be part of the University of Kentucky track team Division I. I thought, this is awesome. I didn't know that I'd be good enough to do that. And so I was honored to be there. And in the summer, when we weren't doing anything as a team, I was running a lot. I was still thinking about, what do I need to do to be ready when the season starts? And I remember one season, we came back to school. I was ready, so when we started running hard together, I wasn't going to be embarrassed. And there was this one guy, highly recruited, maybe the best athlete out there, who goofed off during the summer. And it was embarrassing watching him trying to keep up when we started back, because he didn't take responsibility. But now he's there. Now he has the coach. Now he has support. Now he has encouragement to bring him back around, which is also part of being on the team. A lot of people want to lose weight, but they don't have those pieces And they're like, I don't know why I can't do this. Well, because you're kind of a loner. You're kind of on your own. You want the results that you get when you're on a team, but you're not willing to do that.
Yeah.
Does that ring to you? Does that make sense to you?
You know, it makes me think of, and I'm not trying to shame, but when I hear maybe
This ain't no country club.
when I hear people close to me and they say like, I'm gonna lose some weight, and so in my curiosity, I say like, what, kind of what's your plan?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm gonna take pieces of something,
Right.
and I'm gonna go for it, and immediately it's just that like, do a plan and stick to the plan.
Yeah. You really do. And I think that's a big part of it. It's like, what is your plan? And it's a piece of this, a piece of that, because they really want their own
They
thing.
don't want the accountability.
They don't. They want to be.
Which is where so much of the success lies.
We want fun and casual, right? Yeah. The success lies in the work you're not doing.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. Is there exceptions? Sure, and I'm rooting for them because there is occasionally someone who's able to just kick butt on their own. I mean, I don't want to say that never happens, but they're definitely the minority.
Yeah. Yeah. This ain't no country club. We want fun and casual, but we want the results of, I'm a teammate. I'm in this with you guys. I'm willing to sacrifice, and it's not going to happen, and it's certainly not going to happen when you don't have that team concept and that team mindset. Reminds me a little bit about when Saul was knocked off his horse, and he changed his name. His name was changed to
I was Paul. I was
Paul.
picturing King Saul.
Yeah, so Saul was knocked off his horse, changed his name to Paul. Well, why is that? Well, because everything changed. It seemed appropriate. You know what? Everything you do is going to be with a different motivation, a different mindset. It just makes sense to change your name. And some people, we could have titled this, Change Your Name, because everything you do, it needs to be now with the mindset that, I'm part of this team. I was in a meeting one time, and I wanted people to see, when you decide to lose weight and get healthier, it doesn't just affect you. And I asked the question, I said, who does it affect, whether you choose to be healthy or not, you're healthy, you're unhealthy, who does that affect? And there was a financial advisor in the group who was really sharp, and I thought his answer was great. I said, who's affected by your health? He said, everybody in your network. And that's true. And we're just not sufficiently motivated. I don't think we see the cost of not doing this as great enough, because if we saw the cost of being obese, of not nailing this down and zeroing in and deciding, if we don't see the cost, it's not going to make sense to do the things we talk about. It's not going to make sense to be on a team. Who wants to be on a team?
True.
Well, because you don't look at the cost of it. When you see the cost of it clearly, it suddenly becomes easy. I remember hearing a preacher one time, and he said, following the Lord is either easy or impossible. And when he just explained what he meant, that kind of made sense. And I think this is true as well. Losing weight is either easy or impossible. Once you decide, I'm done with it, I am done with it, and you really mean it deep down because you've seen the cost of not doing it.
Done with the old way.
The old way, you then willingly join a team, and it becomes relatively easy. It's like, well, this isn't that hard. Yeah, because now you see.
That's true. When we're all in, we're going to do what it takes. There's that switch in our minds of like, no, I'm all in. I don't have anywhere else to go.
Yes.
But when we're not all in, we have
lots of options.
other options.
And
it makes it a lot harder to get to where we want to go.
Exactly. Lots of options when you're not all in. No is only hard when yes
is an option.
And it's always it's going to be that option until we say, you know what, I'm done with that. Reminds me a little bit of the guy in college. You had different personalities in college, and you remember the guys that were always wanting to go out and party? It was like it didn't matter if there was a big test the next day. Like, we got a party! And I was kind of looking at him like, you're not really here to get a degree, are you? Because I was like, I had to work really hard. But deep down, I was like, no, I got to get my degree while I'm here. It's like, that's the team I was on, but you don't have to choose to be on that team. You can choose to be on the party team. And a lot of people, when it comes to the weight loss, they just haven't yet decided to be on that team. They're still on the, yeah, I'm here in college, whatever, but I'm going to do what I want to do.
It's a shame. Um, it's a shame. It's a shame to see it because you know that it's so doable. It's not something that's out of reach for really anybody. It's so doable. So then to see
Right.
people it really goes back to the mindset. It's all starting and really ending in the mind.
Yes.
And when the mindset has some significant blind spots, you just want to like, come on, dude, come on.
Yeah. It's a lot of people want to point to things that when I see it, I'm like, yeah, you're not really serious yet. It doesn't mean they're wrong in what they're looking at. Like some will say, it's seed oils. It's our food that they serve at McDonald's. It's my metabolism. And they point to these things that make this journey more challenging, and they do. But it's none of that. Mm-hmm. That is not your issue. Yeah. Your issue is you're not on the team. Because once you're on the team, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you're not going to have to face those things. It doesn't mean you're not going to have hard days, wins and losses. Mm-hmm. You're going to have wins and losses. But you always know I've got a coach. I've got teammates. We have a mission. We have rules we play by. And that's what I do. And it's not going to look the same for everybody. You may not be on the Trainer Joe team. But if you are, I kind of have some expectations of you. If you're going to do this with me, here's how we do it. We do have rules. And if you just don't care at all, it's like if you don't care about the results, then you don't have to care about the rules. But you want these awesome results, well, join the team, brother. And most coaches and groups would love to have you, but you've got to make that decision that this is important enough for me. Because you know what? Anybody that's struggling to be on this team, they're on other teams. They're on I'm a really good employee team. And they make sacrifices for that. They get up. They go to work when they don't feel good because they have joined that team. They're on I'm a good parent team.
I was going to say the family man or family woman team. That they're going to be at all the sporting events, and they are going to bend over backwards, as a good parent often does,
yes,
to a large extent, for the sake of their family.
They're on I'm a good church member team.
I
don't miss. I do this. I do this.
I
serve. I feel like this is important, and it is. Well, they need to be on this team. And they haven't decided yet that this one is also critically important. Because you know what? This one, there was a guy at church recently, I don't know if I shared this before, he tapped me, he said, Joe, I just appreciate what you're doing. This is so foundational. And he was healthier, and he had lost weight. He said, this is foundational. All these teams are important, but if you don't have your health and you have decided that's not important, how good are you going to do at those other things? You've got to at some point decide, this is so important, it's worth me joining. It's worth me changing my name because I need to see things and do things differently than I have up to now. I am done. I'm done with that.
I like that. I mean, if you were going to take away one thing from this, the idea of changing your name, like if you're 80 pounds overweight and you want to lose all that weight, it's possible, absolutely, but you're gonna have to have a new name, and embrace that new person.
What's a name we can come up instead of Bertha? You're gonna change your name.
Not against Bertha, dude.
No, okay. Instead of Rhoda,
okay,
we're gonna change your name to Rita.
Wow, you're just taking names.
Let's go from Rhoda.
You're taking names that are a little more out there,
a little older fashioned. You're gonna. Let's go from Rhoda to Rita.
That's even older.
No, I know. I know people that have changed their names, and it was with that in mind. It was with that in mind.
Almost have like a little bit of a rebirth.
Yes, like a rebirth. And I have one guy. He said, "Joe," he said, "Do you mind if I call you Joseph?" He thought of I think Joseph in the Bible is. I'm going to call you Joseph. I see Joseph.
That's a little intrusive.
Oh, yeah, if you want to, but
that's a power move. That is a power move.
I know it. He's always.
I'm going to call you.
He's
Joseph.
a powerful man.
Hey, buddy, your name's Joe. You like going by Joe? I'm
giving you a new name.
I'm going to call you Joseph, and he gives you a little shoulder squeeze. Kind of like you're going to submit.
Yikes.
You're going to submit.
So consider a new name.
Well, I
think we get the idea of that.
Yeah, we have to. It would not be right if we didn't say, if you want to join a team, we have a a good team right here, the Trainer Joe team.
Yeah, we have a unique community.
A unique community, 21-day transformation. The link is in the description. We would love to have you on that team. But as you said, there are plenty of teams that will get the job done. And the main thing is you join the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comment below, you guys. Let us know what you thought about this, because this one was a little bit of a, I don't know. I mean, they all are pretty direct, pretty heavy at times. No pun intended. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Huh?
when we talk about a team, is it clear what we're talking about, this team? What do you think we're talking about? And do people know what we're talking about, this team? I think they do.
Well, I think so. When you say like the Trainer Joe's team, is that
Well,
what
just in general, this team. It can be Trainer Joe, it can be this group, it can be this group, but what are we doing?
Well, yeah, you describe. Oh, go ahead. You continue.
It is, because I think some people would say, okay, yeah, I want to be on the team that wants to be healthy. And I wouldn't say that's necessarily my team. But when I think about, and when I say mine, others too, but I think when you say I want to be on the I'm healthy team, to me, that's too vague. I like to generalize into I want to be at a healthy weight team. That's more what I have in mind. Now, you can have slight variations of that, but too often it's vague. You don't know if you're succeeding or not. When you're on my team, I want you to know if you're winning or not. And sometimes you don't even know. And so mine is, hey, here's a weight range that you feel good about, that is generally going to be said, this is healthy. That's what we want to do. We want to live there. What's it take to live there? So I don't know if people were thinking exactly that or not.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Comment below, you guys. We would love to keep the convo going and hear your thoughts on this video, on this topic. And are you ready to be on a team? Do you feel like maybe if you're just being honest, have kind of distanced yourself from really going all in on a team, and you've been that person that's like, well, I'll pick and choose little bits without committing? Just be honest, and let's find encouragement in the comment section. Hop in there and encourage some people that maybe are still figuring this out. All right, guys.
Good deal.
Trainer Joe, train your brain
and transform your body.